Friends, today it is an opportunity for me to speak on the great personality, Sri Annabhau Sathe. Annabhau Sathe is not just a literary personality. He is a social reformer. He was a social reformer. He was responsible for a lot of socio-economic, educational and political changes of the weaker section and the poor people, especially women and Adivasis of his area. I am Professor B.G. Patil from Belgaum, Karnataka. I am thankful to my friends Dr. Vashant Gaikwad, Dr. Ramesh Lagade and Dr. Maruti Kasab sir for giving me an opportunity to speak or express my views on such a great personality. The day on which I received a call from them, I thought it is very easy to speak on him. But when I went on studying and doing a research on him, I found it is very difficult to give the picture of such a great personality in 45 minutes. But I am concentrating only on his literary works, his views, his ideas and philosophy that are there in his works. Friends, basically I am from Karnataka. My mother tongue is Kannada. I am going to express some views in Kannada because many of my friends from Karnataka are watching it. And at the same time, I know bit Marathi. Certain things I am going to explain in Marathi also, express my views in Marathi also. Because it is Anna's language. Anna used to speak the language of the locality, the language of the people, his people. So I'm speaking Anna's language. Friends, Anna was very much influenced. I'm going to call him Anna throughout my speeches. I'm not going to use his full name as Annabhau Sathe. I'm not that big personality. I'm not that great man to call him by his full name. I am calling him with respect as Anna. That's for me. When I speak of Anna, we have to think of Dr. Ambedkar. He was very much influenced by Dr. Ambedkar's philosophy, which I am going to discuss later on. Ambedkar has a greater impact on the personality of Anna. And in turn, Anna used the philosophy and ideology of Ambedkar to change the minds of the people, to touch the minds of the people, to bring change in the society. With respect, I'll start to speak on him. Anna is not just a name or a personality. We have to remember that. Anna is not just a name or a personality. He is the symbol of humanity. I'm using the term humanity because he is a champion of Dalit, downtrodden, weaker sections of the society, tribals, women and the like. He always thought of the weaker sections of the society. His literary works, whatever literary contributions Anna has made, his literary works are the picturization of these people. When you go through his works, when you analyze his writings are picturization of the life of these people. His writings are not just novels or articles or lavanies or podas. They are not just the works. These are the actual depiction of the life, issues, conditions, problems and sufferings of his people. We have to remember that. Anna is a glittering star in the galaxy of Marathi literature. Chamakta hua sitara. Anna is a glittering star in the sense he has made a wonderful contribution in his own way, in his own style to the Marathi literature. Ambedkar, the greatest man with knowledge India has ever produced, the architect of Indian Constitution, we may call him hub of knowledge, center of knowledge. Dr. Ambedkar called upon the weaker and poorer sections of the society to educate, organize and agitate. Ambedkar's slogan to the weaker and poorer sections of the society was to agitate against certain things. First, organize. For that, you have to get education. Educate, organize and agitate. This philosophy of Ambedkar, this concept of Ambedkar in philosophy was practically implemented by Anna in his writings, in his movements, in his lectures. See, studying Dr. Ambedkar is entirely different. Preaching Dr. Ambedkar is entirely different. But practicing the concept of Dr. Ambedkar, bringing Ambedkar's philosophy into practical life is very difficult. And Anna has done it. So hats off to that great soul. Dr. Ambedkar's influence on Anna is clearly seen throughout his writings, because his writings are always related to the weaker sections of the society, the poor and the woman, the Adivasi and the Dalit, the sufferers in general, the exploited, the humiliated, the insulted community of the society. Ambedkar's ideology, Ambedkar's preachings were actually brought into practice and taken to the common man by Anna. We have to remember that. Friends, when we was going through the life of Anna, many people expressed the opinion that Anna got a very limited education or formal education. Somebody says he went to school for just one day, whereas some others say he got formal education up to 4th standard. But to me, I am proud to say it, but to me, Anna was graduated from the university called Poverty. He was post-graduated from a university called Hunger. He got his doctoral and postdoctoral degree from the universities called Humility and Insult. I am repeating. To me, Anna was not just little educated or had just formal education. For me, he graduated from the University of Poverty. He was post-graduated from the university called Hunger. He got his doctoral and postdoctoral degrees from other universities. The university is called Sorry for the interruption. There was a technical error. So speaking that, Anna got educated from these 4 universities. जरा मी इथं मराठीत सांगू शकतो. गरिबी, भूक, अपमान, यातना हे जे मानवाला शिकवते, हा विद्यापीठात मानव जे व्यक्ती जे शिक्षण आणि ट्रेनिंग घेतोय ते जगातलं कुठल्याही विद्यापीठात मिळणार नाही. अण्णांनी हा विद्यापीठात आपलं शिक्षण पूर्ण केले. ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಅವರು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬಡತನ, ಹಸಿವು ಮತ್ತು ಅವಮಾನ ಕಲಿಸುವ ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ಕಲಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಅವರು ಬಡತನ, ಹಸಿವು, ಅವಮಾನ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ನುಂಗಿ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನೇ ಹೊತ್ತು, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನೇ ಹಾಸಿ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನೇ ತನ್ನ ಸಂಗಾತಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಸಾಗಿಸಿದರು. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇರುವ ಅನುಭವ, ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಅವರ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವರು ಕಲಿತದ್ದು ಅನುಭವದಿಂದ, ಶಾಲೆಯಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪುಸ್ತಕದಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಕಲಿತದ್ದು ಅನುಭವದಿಂದ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, poverty, hunger and insult teaches the wonderful lessons to a man, and Anna learned from these three things in his life. We have to remember that. So just I'm going to the history of Maharashtra here. Maharashtra is the land of revolutions and revolutionaries. Maharashtra is a land of revolutions and revolutionaries. We have seen great revolutions in socio-economic, political and educational fields in Maharashtra. Personalities like Mahatma Phule ji, Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj, Baba Amte have done a wonderful, a remarkable revolution in the field of social movement, social change, social revolution. Whereas people like Dr. Ambedkar, in social as well as political field, Shivaji Maharaj, in political as well as war field, have done a tremendous work. Their contribution is impeccable to others. Finally, Maharashtra is the capital city of the economy of the country. So Anna was from such a wonderful land. Anna was from this land, and he builds his personality from that. Sahitya Ratna Lok Shahir, Anna painted the characteristics of superheroes. I am using the term superheroes in his writings. Remember, they were not known, they were unknown. They were unknown. Not only to the Marathi literature, but for the entire Indian literature. Anna brought the personalities who were unsung, unheard and unknown characters in the society. These unknown, unsung and unheard heroes, characters, played a wonderful role in his writings. They were unknown, unsung and unheard in the sense they were common men. They were living in remote part of the country. They were living in rural areas, remote areas. He makes them the heroes. These personalities are very special for him. He paints the characters of special personalities like these people. See, they may be nationalistic people or patriotic people. They were cultural ambassadors of their land. They were farmers. For the first time, farmers were made heroes. The tragedy with the Indian system is, then and even today, farming community is the most neglected community. Nobody is interested to paint the picture of the problems and sufferings of the farmers. But Anna did it. Anna made the farmers the heroes. Then tamasha actors, women from rural background, uneducated background, they were made the main characters of his writings. Anna believed in one philosophy, that is, language is the culture of the land. Language is culture of the land. It is not just a means of communication. Language is not just the means of communication. It is the culture of that land. Anna successfully proves this philosophy through his writings. That is the greatness of Anna. Friends, we know that he depicts the picture of weaker sections of the society, unsung and unheard heroes. When you go through his novel Fakira, you will realize it. Fakir was an unsung, unheard hero. You will realize it, my friends. Then, he followed a different approach, different style, and different language in his writings. What is the different approach, different language, different style then? Remember, he never created a character or story to entertain the people. Entertainment of the mass was not the motto of Anna's writings. Enlightening the people, creating awareness among the masses was the main motto of Anna's writing. Majority of today's writers, today's literary personalities write for entertainment, to entertain the people. But Anna never thought of that. He wanted to enlighten the people. He wanted to create awareness among the general masses. That was the basic motto of his writings. We have to remember that. We have to think of that. We have to analyze that. Through his writings, he wanted to send a strong and effective message. He wanted to send a strong and effective message to the society. The language he used was purely local language. Local language in the sense, आता आपण बीडचे आहे, औरंगाबादचे आहे किंवा लातूरचे आहे. आपण जे मराठी बोलते ते मराठी पुणेकरांना आवडणार नाही. पुणेकरांचे मराठी आपल्याला आवडणार नाही. I am from Belgaum, and in Belgaum we speak a particular Marathi. Majority of the Maharashtrian people won't understand it. For example, जेवण झाले काय आमच्याकडे विचारत नाही. जेवल्याशी? पेरण्या संपले? नो, दे नेवर आस्क. पेरल्याशी? भेटूच ना ग. म्हणजे फार दिवस आपलं भेट झाले नाही आहे. They speak like this, Bhetus Naga. Anna uses this language. When the border people of Karnataka here, the Marathi speaking people of this area, when you speak in their language, that Bhetus Naga, Jevle Ashi, Perle Ashi, Kate Gelele, Kute Gele Hote, Kate Gelele, Khas. If you speak in that language, it will be more effective. It will be more touching. It will be more effective and more touching. We have to think of that, my friends. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಿತ್ರರು ಚಿಕ್ಕೋಡಿ ತಾಲೂಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಆದರೆ, ಅಥಣಿ ತಾಲೂಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಆದರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಿ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಈ ಚಿಕ್ಕೋಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಡಕೆಯಾಳ, ಶಮನಿವಾಡಿ, ಭೂಸ್, ಗಳತ್ಗ, ಕಾರದಗ, ಮಾಂಗೂರ್ ಈ ಭಾಗದ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಗಣ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಮಾಡತ್ತಿ? If you use that language, they love you, they understand you, they follow you. Anna followed that technique. I have friends from Sirsi, Honavar, Bhatkal. They speak Kannada, but their Kannada is entirely different. Tangelle aita. Nimmuru yavudu anta kelodilla. You are from which place? Tangelle aita. Appa batte. Father is coming. Appa barta idare. Appa batte. See, this is the language. This is local language. This is vocal language. Anna used this local and vocal language that impressed the masses. That is very important for us. Anna's style of writing, that is the speciality. Anna's approach, that is the speciality. He never used any decorative words. No, not at all. The simile, sonnet, something like that. In English literature. In Kannada, we have something like that. Alankaragalu, Upamagalu. No, nothing like that. He uses the simplest language, the language of the people of that land, and depicts the characters. That is his specialty. He uses that business Marathi. व्यवहारिक मराठी जे आपण बोलते, रोज आपण जे बोलते आपल्या गल्लीत, आपल्या घरात, आपल्या गावात, त्या भाषेत ते, त्याच्यामुळे लोकांना ते आवडले, लोकांपर्यंत ते पोहोचले. That is very important for us. So to me, he was the first person in Indian literary history to use the local language, and his style of writing has made an everlasting impact on Indian literature. That is very important for us, my friends. Then coming to the other aspect, his style of local for vocal, just now I told, has influenced many people or many languages. His style of writing has a greater impact on other regional languages. For example, I am from Karnataka. I am speaking on Kannada literature here. We have great personalities like Krishnamurti Puranik, then Rao Bahadur, Mirji Anna Raya. They use the style of Anna. We have to remember that. They use the style of Anna in the sense that local language. If you read Nisarga of Anna, Mirji Anna Raya, he uses that peculiar border Kannada. We know that Anna was from Sangli. Mirji Anna Raya, our Kannada personality, is from Ainapur. Hardly there is 25-30 kilometers of distance between Ainapur and Sangli. The people in Ainapur speak that earlier Kannada which I spoke, Yan Madakadiri, Yelugiri, Yan Kansula. That style Mirji Anna Raya uses in his Nisarga novel. So the impact of Anna is seen here. Rao Bahadur's Ramayana is based in that, written in that style only. We are very happy about that. In Kannada, we have something called Bandaya Sahitya or Dalita Sahitya. This Bandaya Sahitya or Dalita Sahitya is completely influenced by Anna's writings. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, 47ರ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ. See how the poet here says, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂತು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, 47ರ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ. In this depiction, the poet says, the independence India got in 1947 was not for the common man, not for the poor man. It was for the rich. It was for the upper caste. It was for the criminal. It was for the elite class. In the sense, common man is not free even today. Anna's influence is seen in this poem. Then we may speak of that Naxalite writings in Andhra Pradesh. Of course, later on that Naxalite movement took a different way, it took a different turn. I'm not going to comment on that because Anna never supported violence. We have to remember that. Anna basically believed in non-violence because he was a follower of Dr. Baba Sahib. He never supported violence. That we have to remember. That Naxalite writings in the beginning had a greater impact on the general public, rural poor, because that language was local language. So Anna's influence, Anna's impact is seen there. Then, in the beginning I told I am from Karnataka, I am Kannadiga, I am from Belgaum. One proud moment for me is that Anna was in Karnataka for some time. I said he's from Sangli. From his place, hardly at a distance of 30 kilometers, we have a place called Shamnewadi. It's a big village, Shamnewadi. Anna faced a lot of, I'm not going to speak on his early life, but one sentence I want, one word I want to use it. He faced a lot of difficulties in his early life. He was unable to manage himself at that time. When he was unable to manage himself, he moves to Shamnewadi. He stays there for some time. But remember, his influence is seen in that locality. There were some group of youngsters. There were some group of youngsters who became followers of Anna. It is his friends who supported at that time. On account of their support, Anna could succeed, it is said. I don't know how far it is true, but it is said that his friends around Shamnewadi supported Anna during that crisis. That is why Anna could succeed. But he made an everlasting influence on the people of that locality. His influence is seen on the later writers of that area. It may be B.S. Anadi, who was working for some times in Shamnewadi. It may be Bhujendra Maheshwargi or Buddhanna Himgiri, Buddhanna Hingmeri. These were the people who were influenced by Anna's writings at that time. So, he created a generation, next generation we have to call, the next generation of writers. In Kannada, we have wonderful writers like him. We have wonderful writers who are influenced by him. We call them Bandaya Saitis. We call them Bandaya Saitis. Many of my friends, upcoming writers, are writing wonderful, or giving wonderful works in that field. So that is on account of Anna. We have to remember that. Then, another point I want to note here, or mention here, Anna's writings revolves around the injustice and exploitation of the poor and weaker sections of society. His writings always revolves around that. The people who suffered, the people who were exploited, the people who were tortured by the authorities and the system. The people who were tortured by authority and system, he expresses their feelings through his writings. That is greatness of Anna's writings. See, he just clearly mentions certain things in his writings wherein he directly expresses the sufferings of the people. For example, that Smashyanachi Mansa, something like that, there is a novel later and I am going to mention it. The man who was living in that area. तुम्ही जे रुद्रभूमी म्हणता ना, स्मशान म्हणता ना, त्यात राहिलेले माणसाचे त्रास, स्मशानाचे माणसं. He depicts a wonderful picture of that. The graveyard. The man was looking after the graveyard. He eats the food that was kept for the dead bodies. He was having that much problem. He was unable to earn his daily bread. He eats that food. In the sense, he expresses the feelings of these people, these weak people, through his writings. It touches, earlier I told you, it touches the heart of the people. जे आपुलकीची भाषा आपण वापरते, जे जनसामान्याच्या रूढीची भाषा आपण वापरते, जे रोज आपण बोलते घरी किंवा गल्लीत, ते भाषात आपण विचार व्यक्त करते, ते जास्त प्रभावी होतात. ह्याच्यात अण्णांचा विश्वास मोठा होता. सामान्य माणसांचा, गोर गरिबांचा, आदिवासींचा, भटकावे लोकांचे भाषा अण्णांनी वापरले आणि त्यात त्यांनी यशस्वी पण झाले. ते फार महत्त्वाचे आहे. ಬಡವರು, ಶೋಷಿತರು, ತುಳಿತಕ್ಕೊಳಗಾದವರು, ಶೋಷಣೆಗೊಳಗಾದವರು, ಅಂಥವರ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನ, ಅಂಥವರ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಅಂಥವರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ಪೆನ್ ಎಂಬ ಲೇಖನಿ ಎಂಬ ಖಡ್ಗದ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಣ್ಣಾರವರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜನರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಬೀರಿರುವ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಅದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಅಚ್ಚಳಿಯದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Anna's writings change the perspective of literary world, the style of literary world, we can say later on. Coming to the next aspects or next point, he made different experiments in his writings. He made different experiments in his writings in the sense, look at Fakira. He is an icon, he is a youth icon. आज आपण कुणाकोणाला तरी युथ आयकॉन बोलतोय, त्याच्याबद्दल मी बोलत नाही. जे दलित शोषित माणूस होता फकीरा, त्याचं अद्भुत चित्रण अण्णाने करतात. Of course, the condition in which Fakira lived, the way he protested, the way he revolted. It is a wonderful depiction of iconic personality of Fakira in that novel Fakira. Then when we come to that poem Mazhi Meena, that poem Mazhi Meena touches the inner feelings of his community. See, these are the different experiments Anna has made. Then you have his Lavnis. His Lavnis are really wonderful. They send wonderful messages, strong messages, effective messages, useful messages to the society. Really appreciable Lavnis those are. Then in one of his Lavnis, Mumbaichi Lavani, he gives a perfect and factual picture of Mumbai city. Nobody has painted such a wonderful picture of Mumbai city the way Anna has done. That is wonderful. Then you have that Smashana Til Sona. Smashana Til Sona, I was speaking earlier. That Smashana Til Sona. He depicts a character of a poor, hungry man in that. Then you have Varna Khora. In that novel Varna Khora, he gives the picture of fight for survival of the fittest. The revolutionary ideas of the poor people, the local life of the weaker and poor people. Such a wonderful explanation in that Varna Khora. Then you have that Vaijanta. I was just going through the criticism on his literary work. Somebody writes, the sound of dancing bells dwells in the memory of readers forever in that Vaijanta. See how wonderfully he analyzes Anna's Vaijanta. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಜನರಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸುವ, ಅವರ ಮೂಲಕ ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸುವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಅಣ್ಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಮಹತ್ವದ್ದು. See, when you go through his writings, when you go through his works, you find that his writings revolve around the pleasure and pain of his community. We say that they are poor, they are weaker. How come there is a pleasure? They were in pain. They were in trouble. They were in difficulty. They were suffering. They have a lot of hardships in life. But there were certain incidences in their life where they had some pleasure. It may be jatra, fair. It may be shadi, vivah, or the marriages in their community. During those days, they enjoyed rain. They enjoyed the harvesting season. These were the conditions of his time. So I don't know what is wrong with आवाज येत नाही म्हणून कोणतरी लिहित आहे, परंतु इथं सगळ्यांना आवाज येत आहे. मला फक्त 2-3 लोकांचं तसे आले की आवाज येत नाही. आवाज येत नाही. I am not audible, my friends. I am not audible. Okay, carry on. Then earlier I said he was the champion of the poor. He was champion of the poor, so he represented them. He represented them through his writings. He represented the poor and weaker sections through his writings. We know that he had very little formal education, but the contribution he has made to Marathi literature is really wonderful. We know that Anna has contributed 35 novels, 13 books, story books. Then you have 13 Vaganatyas, 3 dramas, 1 Shairi book, 7 stories for the pictures, 15 povades, It is really wonderful. It is really wonderful. But the thing here is, he is not that popular when you compare with some other personalities like Premchand Munshi, Mahadevi Verma, because they were Hindi writers, they were from North India. He is a Marathi writer, he is a Dalit writer. That is why Anna could not become that popular. It does not mean that Anna was never popular. My friends, I am proud of him. His writings were translated in 27 foreign languages. It is unparalleled in the history of Indian literature. 27 languages. His Marathi writings, his Lavnis, were translated into 27 foreign languages. That is wonderful. That is really wonderful, my friends. He is a very popular literary personality. He was a very popular literary personality in Russia at that time. Speaking of Povade, I want to tell something here for my Kannada people. Povade, Marathi people know what is that Povade. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಕಾವ್ಯದ ಮೂಲಕ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಚಿತ್ರಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಲಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಕಾವ್ಯದ ಮೂಲಕ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಾಧಕನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಏನು ಸಾಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಖ್ಯಾತಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆತನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಾವ್ಯದ ಮೂಲಕ, ಕವನದ ಮೂಲಕ ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡುವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಈ ಪವಾಡೆಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮರಾಠಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಕೆಲಸ. ದೆನ್ when we come to Anna's style of writing or present in the issues and conditions, it has made a greater impact on the later Marathi Dalit writers. I am taking them only because there is a time limitation. Already I am running out of time. It is already 8:10 I think. So he made a greater impact on the later Marathi Dalit literature I am speaking. For example, Daya Pawar's Baluta, P.S. Sonkambles आठवणाचे पक्षी, शंकरराव खारट्स तरळ अंतराळ, लक्ष्मण मानेस उपरा, लक्ष्मण गायकवाड उचल्या. सॉरी मराठी पीपल, आय एम सॉरी. मी कानडीचा माणूस आहे. मराठीत माझे जे प्रनाऊन्सिएशन चुकलं असलं तर इथं क्षमा करावे. का म्हणजे मी इंग्लिशमध्ये ते वाचले. मराठीत जर ते प्रनाऊन्सिएशन चुकलं असलं तर हे जे आपले बाळुता आहे, आठवणीचे पक्षी आहे, तरळ अंतराळ आहे, उपरा आहे, उचला आहे, हे खरंच म्हणजे अण्णांचे प्रभाव हे लेखनामध्ये दिसत आहे आपल्याला. सो इट्स अ वंडरफुल इम्पॅक्ट ऑन द सोसायटी बाय अण्णा. देन कमिंग टू द लास्ट पार्ट, यू मे कॉल इट कंक्लूजन. मेनी पीपल मे आस्क ए क्वेश्चन, why we are discussing Anna today? Why there are series of lectures on a personality who was there a long ago? Friends, Anna's writings, Anna's preachings are very essential in COVID-19 today. I said Anna fought for poor, weaker and rural people. On account of COVID-19, look at the condition of the poor, look at the condition of the farmer, look at the condition of the migrant laborers. अण्णांनी जे प्रेमाची भाषा, अण्णांनी जे आपुलकीची भाषा, अण्णांनी जे आत्माची भाषा वापरलेली आहे, ती भाषा आज आपल्या ग्रामीण भागात कोविड-19 कोरोनाच्या परिस्थितीत फारच अवश्य आहे. आपण विचार करायला पाहिजे. एकमेकावर आज प्रेम पाहिजे, एकमेकावर आपलं आपुलकी पाहिजे झाले. आज मुंबईहून बेंगळुरूहून लोक खेड्यात येत आहे. जे माणूस मुंबई किंवा बंगळुरूमध्ये राहिलेला आहे ते खेड्यात आल्यानंतर त्याचं संस्कृती, त्याचं भाषा, त्याचं वागणूक सगळे वेगळं आहे. आपल्या घरात आलं तर सुद्धा उद्या ते आपल्या घरी कसं ॲडजस्ट करून घेणार हे मोठी ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ आहे. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ ಮುಂಬೈಯಿಂದ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಜನ, ಅವರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಅವರ ಆಹಾರ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಅವರ ಆಚಾರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಜನರು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೊಂದಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು, ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆಯ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು, ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುವ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಅಣ್ಣ ಅವರು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಅದ್ಭುತ. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಣ್ಣ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವಶ್ಯದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Just giving lectures on Anna's ideas or philosophy is not sufficient. Preaching Anna is of no use. Having series of lectures is of no use. But we have to follow his principles. We have to create an awareness among the general masses. I'm a political science teacher. We people, through human rights, through Right to Information Act, through government programs, we have to create awareness among the masses, the general masses in the society. My friends, if we do that, then only we are giving justice, we are doing justice to Anna's philosophy, Anna's ideology, Anna's thoughts. Otherwise, it is of no use. It is of no use. I think I've made my points. It was a wonderful experience for me. So I must thank my friend Dr. Vasant Gaikwad. I must thank Ramesh Ladge sir, Maruti sir for their support and other things, my friends. Thank you. Thank you everybody for giving me an opportunity to speak on a wonderful personality, to learn new things, to gain new knowledge to me. Thank you everybody for your patient hearing. Thank you my friends.